What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Leo's Nerd Talk, and today we're going to be going over my experience at 2025's Universal Studio Hollywood Horror Nights. So let's get into that. Now, this has been a yearly tradition for me. I go to Horror Nights every single year. I try to go to all the different major horror maze places that happen kind of throughout California. And Horror Nights is the one that I have to do no matter what every single year. And this year was definitely no different, especially because we had a bunch of big hitters. Now, I've tried to do videos like this in the past, but every time I'm there, I get a little distracted or I get a little too tired where I don't really have the energy to film anymore. And I kind of want to just go to the mazes, have my own personal fun. But this year I did my best and I attempted as much as I possibly could to record as much as I could to make a little video here for you guys so I can show you guys my experience with Horror Nights. Now, this is one of the first years that we've gone. And this is the biggest group I've ever gone in with, I should say. I've gone with most of these people before for the past 3 years, but we added a new member who isn't typically fond of these activities, but he seemed to have a good time for the most part. And I was very excited for him to go. And this was definitely a great year for him to go as well, because again, there was a bunch of big hitters this year, including Terrifier, the new Jason universe, Five Nights at Freddy's, and a bunch of other ones that just seemed fun as well. I'll be sprinkling in footage here and there of the night throughout the day, but I'm going to be watching myself and kind of going kind of step by step of kind of what happened for Horror Nights. And so let's pretty much get right into it. But before we even arrived at Horror Nights, for the past couple of weeks, I should say, maybe days, we've been deciding and strategizing of what we were going to do, because we were not looking into purchasing any of the express pass or VIP pass. We were going to go in as plain as possible, as any normal group of people could, and kind of see if we were able to kind of get everything done. And as we were getting closer and closer to the night of us actually going, we were starting to get a little bit more and more worried, because we were going opening weekend. We went Sunday of opening weekend, and the first 3 days of Horror Nights were completely sold out. Sunday wasn't sold out, so that made me feel a little bit better. But I'm sure you guys have seen where there are 4-hour-long wait times for stuff like Terrifier, Five Nights at Freddy's, or Jason. And that was getting us very, very worried, because in a night that you really only have, 6-7 hours to get through everything done, waiting 4 hours for one maze is absolutely ridiculous. So going into this, we were strategizing, seeing what we were going to do. We were open to the idea of getting the express passes if they were reasonably priced by the time we got there. And also another thing we did is we did a bunch of line orders, which I'll kind of flash throughout here. It was kind of fun how we kind of did it, just so we knew who was going to be going front or back or in the middle of each individual maze, to kind of help everybody experience it as the best possible that we could. But upon arrival, we got there extremely, extremely early. We were there roughly around I would say 5-ish. The park opens at around 7. So I'll be sprinkling some footage of us here walking to the park as well. But the park pretty much opened right around 7, or that's what's kind of typical when you're kind of going to these Horror Night things. So I'm gonna be kind of, as I'm speaking, doing my best to kind of watch along, so I kind of get the gist of what was going on. So yeah, we were walking there and we were waiting in line, and like I said, they don't open the gates until a little bit later on in the day, closer to 7, because they do let you in so you can see the opening ceremony. They didn't really do a big opening ceremony for today. I'm not sure if that was just for opening night, but we got extremely, extremely lucky with the fact that we were there around 6:25. We were waiting in the area where they typically do the opening ceremony, and we hear through the intercoms that they decided that they're going to open the park early. So we really got in around 6:30, 6:35. So they opened the park about 30 minutes earlier than what they typically do. And since we were there so early and we were decently in front of the pack, for more or less, you'll see how many people were actually there, but more or less we were decently in the front. We had the game plan. If we get there early, we are sprinting and running to Terrifier to try to get in front of line as quickly as possible. If we get there and it ends up being an hour wait, we are going to wait that hour, because an hour is much better than waiting 4 hours. So here's my experience of us getting to Terrifier. So currently making our way to Terrifier. It's currently a 30-minute wait. If we get there in time, we might be able to do it first. We are making impeccable time. 30-minute wait time right now. We got here so fast. It's not too bad of a line as of right now. And as you see, once we got there, we really got there with a 30-minute wait time. So we did absolutely incredible getting there as quickly as possible. I felt great about the how the night was going so far. And as you can see, I'm sprinkling a little bit of footage here and there of the maze itself, and it was just great atmosphere. The Terrifier or Art kind of walking around in the line was absolutely amazing as well. He was very funny. All the art actors and pretty much all his characters did very, very well this year. And I go over a little bit of my thoughts at the end of it as well, so you'll see that, of course, right here in a little bit. But I thought we did amazing overall, getting to the line as quickly as possible and basically getting there and really reducing our 4-hour wait time to a 30-minute wait time, which was absolutely awesome. Just headed out of Terrifier. We made it in 30 minutes. Typically it's a 2:40 wait, so we did pretty good time. Not scary maze, just amazing production value. Great production value. There was great gore, great zones. It felt like there was always something going on throughout the entire time. So I absolutely loved it. Right now we're in line for Poltergeist, only a 10-minute wait, so that's gonna be pretty sick. But definitely highly rate this one. Absolutely loved it. And I am going to be doing a separate video completely of ranking all the houses. So I'm not going to go into too much detail of what the houses kind of entailed. I just kind of want you to see my overall experience of what kind of happened that night. And I think it's kind of fun to kind of see if you've never been to a horror night, so you can kind of see what to expect if you think it's worth going. This year, I feel like it is definitely worth going just because of the mazes that are there right now. So, but again, I'll go through a completely different video ranking all of them. And I'll go into a little more detail of each maze and kind of my full experience when it comes to the line, the maze itself, the atmosphere, the actors, and scare factor and entertainment, stuff like that. So here next, we were in line for Poltergeist. And luckily, right after Poltergeist, right after Terrifier, the wait time for Poltergeist was only 10 minutes. So we got in extremely quick to Poltergeist. And by the time we got out of it, it was about 7:15. So we felt absolutely amazing about the night, because in just the 45 minutes, 45 minutes that we were there, at 7:15, where we would have still been in line for Terrifier, we already completed 2 mazes, and that was just absolutely amazing to kind of get through that completely and get 2 of them out of the way, get away from the bottom lot. That's typically a really long walk, so we don't have to walk back there ever again. And we just had a great experience in the first 30 to 45 minutes of this night. You want to play around? Tickle, tickle. Alrighty, Poltergeist. For a 10-minute wait, it's not bad. For a 10-minute wait, it's not bad. Kind of a boring maze, not really much going on. A lot of empty space, a lot of dark rooms, dark hallways, but overall still pretty cool. A lot of cool practical effects. But again, for a 10-minute wait, I like it. We have found them, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. Art. We're best friends. And then right around this time, we decided, let's go get some drinks. Let's go get some food. We were already pretty exhausted because we were running around trying to get to mazes as quickly as possible. And while we were in the center plaza in Universal, we ran into a Art the Clown, and he came up to my fiance and they kind of had a little moment, which was very fun. And I'll go ahead and show that for you guys right here.
dance. You want to see the dance?
What? No.
I want to see the dance.
At the Clown Cafe, your favorite meals on wheels.
I don't know the song by her. I haven't seen it that many times.
You got to kill your girl. Oh, wow. Never cleans it.
Down the middle.
It was the best kill. It was the best kill. Oh, God. He extra sauce. He got extra sauce.
Arturo. My heart.
Adiós, Arturo.
He got a little upset that we weren't singing along with him. I'm not sure what he wanted us to sing, maybe a Christmas Carol or the Art the Clown Cafe song, but that was a little fun moment that we had. I was hoping that we would have a moment like that all throughout the night, and I'm glad that I was able to capture it on camera, and we actually were able to experience that. So that was very, very fun as well. And so right after that, we went and straight to the tram. Now the tram closes a little bit earlier than the entire park, about 3 hours earlier, 3 hours earlier. So keep that in mind. If you are planning on going to the tram, make sure to manage your time very, very well, because you could possibly miss the tram completely and not experience it. And I thought this year was a very great tram experience. It's a Blumhouse experience, so there was a bunch of different properties from Blumhouse. So this really felt like 2, 3, 4 mazes all just bunched in together. So that was really awesome to kind of get that out really early. And we only waited in line there for about 30 minutes also. So that was very great to kind of get through that. Typically that line for the tram is about an hour, 2 hour wait. So it was very nice to get that out of the way very, very early. And again, it just really enhanced our experience that we felt like we were making great timing. Now, overall, the house itself, I thought was, or the tram itself, again, I thought it was a great experience. Very, very fun walking through that. So of course, I'll show some footage, snip it through here and kind of get it all in there so you guys can see what the full experience of the tram ride kind of is. But again, very, very fun. And at this point in time, we felt like we were doing amazing this year in terms of timing.
Keep going. Hey, Freddy, that's good. Oh, shit.
Now on to the longest wait of the night, the Jason Universe maze. And it said that it was going to be a 2 hour wait, and everything else pretty much in the park was only really a 10 to 30 minute wait. So we just kind of fully decided, hey, you know what, let's get this out the way. Maybe it'll go a little bit faster than expected. And it did. It went from a 2 hour wait and we got into the maze in about an hour. So that was absolutely amazing. This was probably one of our most anticipated ones. This and Terrifier, or of course the two big hitters that I was really looking forward to. And this might be the best or second best maze of the night. I'm still not fully decided on that yet. You'll see that for sure on my ranking. But this was absolutely fun. I thought the atmosphere of Crystal Lake, or this new Jason Universe, was very, very good. Great jump scares, intense moments, really fun atmosphere. It was just a great maze to be walking through. They absolutely outdid themselves for this property, and they kind of had to with this new Jason Universe. They had to kind of really show out and hit you really hard with this maze and really go into the production value. So again, by this time, we're in line for an hour. Great timing again. We were just rushing through these mazes. And it's kind of those things where I've done the express pass before. I've done the express pass before, a couple years ago, and it's fun. Don't get me wrong. Going to a maze and waiting 5-10 minutes in line, getting through the maze, and you can feel like you can relax, go to, pretty much anything at this point and go eat, relax, sit down for like 30 minutes and not feel like you're rushing is an absolute blast. Do you necessarily need it? No, you really don't. You just have to prioritize your time and really, really keep your eyes on that wait time, because if you can do that, you can really knock out everything. Now, granted, we didn't knock out everything here. We also did leave an hour early, so we could have knocked out everything if we really, really wanted to. But by this point, we were a little bit tired of waiting in line, because the last maze that we really wanted to get to had an hour-long wait. And it was at the end of the night where the park was going to close in about an hour. So we decided to head out at that moment, which I'll get into a little bit more later. But you could get through everything. You can see pretty much everything. Maybe not get to every show, but you can probably for sure get to every maze, have a couple of drinks, and have food, and still make it through the night in a very great manner. You don't need to spend the extra $180, $200 for the express pass. If you want to, and you can, I think it's absolutely worth it personally, but to everybody, it's not really worth it. And I think the just regular admission price is already pricey as is. And if you just prioritize your timing properly, you can definitely get through everything if you try very hard. Then right after the Jason maze, we headed straight to the Freddy Fazbear or the Five Nights at Freddy's maze as well. And this was probably the second longest wait of the night, about an hour also. This one was a little difficult because I enjoyed the maze. I think the maze was fun. Again, very, very great production value. Universal does production value very, very well. Great animatronic work, just a great atmosphere. It was fun being in that world. But I do think, unfortunately, this maze was a little lackluster for the wait. And I do think that's because, of course, the FNAF kind of fandom that's out there, why this maze is so popular, where it ended up being such a long wait for the most part, middle tier type of maze. And that is unfortunate, because if this had a 30-45 minute wait, that would have already bumped it up a heck of a lot more. But waiting an hour 20, that's where it kind of gets a little pushing, especially when you experience the maze that it is. It is fun. There's a lot of great stuff in there, but overall, I don't think it's worth that kind of wait. We still did it, obviously, because we wanted to see it, and I was very excited to see it anyways. But again, it was a very fun maze, and I'm still glad we were able to get it done. And then by this time, we decided to hop on to Jurassic World. Instead of going directly to a different maze, we were extremely hot, sweating, running around, tired, thirsty. So we decided, you know what, let's hop on Jurassic World. And that's kind of a tradition for us too. We typically go on Jurassic World at least once every horror night. And that was not a long wait either, about a 10-minute long wait. So especially a good time there to kind of cool off, get a little bit of water sprayed on you, sit down for a little bit, and just kind of experience a regular thrill and not have to be constantly in the mazes and bombarded by people and people pushing you and being in confined spaces and being super hot. Is definitely a nice little refresher, or like kind of a little bit of a breather while going in between different mazes. And next, it was the White family, I believe it's called. It's the WWE maze. I'm not too sure about the lore or what the story really is here. Obviously, he was a WWE wrestler who passed away. But walking through this maze, I was extremely surprised of what we kind of encountered. I thought it was a very, very fun maze, something I was not expecting at all. This basically felt like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre type of style maze in the vein of WWE. So I'm not sure what the backstory is of why they portrayed it this way, what the lore is of this, but it was a very surprising maze, a maze that I was happy to kind of go through. I wasn't really planning on going through it. If we needed to skip it, I was totally fine skipping it, but I'm glad we went through it. It was also only a 10-minute wait. So again, you don't need the express pass. I felt like people that were in the express lane for this maze waited longer than we did. So you can very much get through all these mazes and just have a great time. You do not need the express pass. And this maze was a big surprise. So if you have the time and chance to go through this one, I highly recommend it.
Do you think we are sick? Yes, sir, I do. Feel sick. Now we make them all pay for their sins. There you are.
No, not the piggies.
And we ended our night with Fallout, a maze that was very, very lackluster, unfortunately, but it wasn't a long wait, about a 15-minute wait, if that. So it was okay waiting for that one, but this probably was my least favorite maze of the night. Again, a maze that doesn't necessarily feel like it belonged in this lineup. It felt like a big promotion ad, especially because the season 2 trailer kind of just came out not too long ago. Season 1 was really popular. This is definitely based more on the show, not the video game at all. So again, a maze that felt like it wasn't necessarily doing much, but it was still cool to go through it. And only waiting 15 minutes, I guess it's kind of worth it. Again, another one where if you really love Fallout, I recommend going through it. And or if you don't, but you have the time and it's a 10, 15, 20-minute wait, I think it's still worth kind of going through for sure.
I got wet.
At the end, here's a little video of Chucky at the Chucky bar, which was kind of fun having a little animated Chucky there. But overall, I think this year was a huge success, especially when it came to the timing, especially with all the controversy of how busy Horror Nights gets every single year. I felt like we did an amazing time, amazing execution on time and getting to all the mazes that we really, really wanted to do. Now, we didn't go through 2 mazes. One of them was Scarecrow, and Scarecrow, the reason why we were not really too in a rush to go to that one is because a couple months ago or a month ago, we went to the Horror Unleashed thing in Vegas. That's like the Universal Horror Nights. That's a year-long round type of thing. And they had a Scarecrow maze there. And from what I heard, it's pretty much exactly the same here at Universal. So I've already experienced that one for the most part. It might be a little bit different, but overall that one was really cool too. But we weren't in a rush because we've already gone through it. And the last one was the Monstros 3, which I really wanted to go. I saw some footage of it. It looked really, really cool. But again, by the time we were ready to go there, we did a little bit of shopping, kind of sitting down a little bit. There was about 50 minutes until the park closed, and the wait time on that one was 65 minutes. So if we got in line, we would have been able to go through it. But at that point, we were all a little bit tired. We really didn't care too much to really go through it and wait another hour or so. So we decided to head out and go to a Denny's and have a really early morning, late night breakfast. So that was very much fun. And by the time we all got home, it was about 4 o'clock in the morning. So again, Horror Nights is one of those things where I love doing it every single year. I absolutely think it's worth going every year, especially if there's IPs that you absolutely love. You do not need the express pass whatsoever. I don't think it's absolutely necessary. If you have the money to spare, I do think it's worth it. But again, it's not necessary. You could get through everything if you just manage your time in a very proper way. But overall, I think this is one of the best Horror Nights I've ever gone through. The houses were amazing. Scare zones were amazing. The tram was amazing. Food, drinks, everything was just a great time. And especially when you go with a huge group of friends, it makes it even better. So let me know what you guys thought about this. If you like these types of videos, something that's a little bit different for this channel, I would very much like to keep doing these. If you guys do like enjoying them, let me know if you guys are going to Horror Nights. If you guys got onto Horror Nights in the past, what your experiences are with Horror Nights. Very much love to hear that in the comment section down below. But again, if you guys like anything movie, TV show, or video game related, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you.